Hey everyone, it's Siobhan, and we're going to talk about strategy today. So, this is something that's really, really important that you literally write it down. You write, and by strategy, we're talking about whether you're investing for the short term or the long term, what your intention with the property is, what the property looks like, and then obviously what area you're going to invest in. So, main strategies then, you're either investing for the short term or the long term. Now, if you're investing for the long term, it's usually that you're buying the property to rent it out and you're receiving the monthly income from that property. And then for the short term, you're flipping properties. So instead of getting something back every single month, you get it all in one lump sum and you make a profit, or you should be making a profit. The reason why I wanted to make this video about strategy is because if you're anything like me, I am Siobhan and I have shiny penny syndrome. I do. But I know that and I own it and I do something about it, which is the most important thing. So for me, it's really important to be clear and focus on exactly what it is that I'm trying to achieve. It helps me personally if I write my strategy down. Yeah. David and I, we have weekly meetings where we revisit our strategy. We talk about what worked, what didn't work. We review it, we tweak it if it needs to, because sometimes it needs to be adjusted. And as a matter of fact, as you begin to grow and as you begin to receive the wealth, you are going to change your strategy. Your strategy is going to change. But I think it's really important to master what it is that you've set out for yourself before going on to something else. So all that's going to happen is you're going to make your strategy. Then you're either going to speak to somebody, or you're going to go to a networking meeting where someone's presenting, or you're going to receive coaching from somebody else, and they're going to present to you a lot of ideas, going to give you lots of valuable information, but you're going to then hear something and you're going to think, you know what, that's really lucrative, that's really interesting, that really appeals to me, I'm going to jump on that. But you know what's going to happen? You'll jump on it and then you get the next piece of information and you're just like, yeah, I want that, I want to do that, this is what we've got to do, this is how we're going to get this wealth right now. What I want to get out of everyone's head is that property is not risk-free. Property is something that has to be strategic, and every successful person in property will tell you that. Anybody can buy a house, but you have to be strategic, you have to know your numbers in order for it to work. So for me, if you're that type of person who gets bored of doing one thing and you like to switch it up, then within your strategy, what you can do is set yourself a target, a monetary target. So what you can do is you can say, okay, well, let's earn 2 grand from this particular strategy and then move on. Once you've mastered something, then it's okay to move on to the next thing. But what you don't want to do is see a new idea, jump on that, then see something else, be like, yeah, I'm going to jump on this because this is quicker. And then I'm going to jump on this. You get nothing done. You are not going to gain wealth overnight, but with persistence and discipline, it will come, and it will be consistent, and it will be sustainable, and it will be long term. So I digress. Strategies, long term, short term. So with your long term, then obviously that's where you're looking at your renters market and you're looking at your buy-to-let properties, your HMOs, your service accommodations, your commercial properties, your conversions, all of the above. And with your short term, you're looking at flipping. With regards to what route? What is that? What route you choose to go down, what's going to your obviously that strategy is going to determine your target area, as I mentioned in another video. So you need to be very clear that if you are flipping properties, you're in an area that people want to buy properties, and if you're renting properties out, that you're in an area where people want to rent. Now you're probably thinking, I've heard you say this before, but I can't say this enough, because sometimes it's the basic things that people need reminding of. It's like you kind of forget, because you get so embroiled into all, the detail, the higher level detail of property, that sometimes you forget the basics. And so I can't emphasize this enough. You need to be aware of your areas. In terms of the other thing that you can do for short term, especially if maybe you're not in a position to buy, you might want to consider sourcing properties. If you source a property, what that basically means is that you're still doing all your due diligence, you're still looking for the great deals, but then you're selling it to an investor for a fee. And what you can do is obviously build up a pot of money that you can then go and invest with, if that's what you want to do. Personally, do I use sources? Yes, I do use sources. Would I source a property? Maybe. That's never been my number one strategy, to be honest with you, to source properties, because I believe that you can leverage other people's money. Not I believe, it is a fact. You can leverage other people's money to invest in properties. Okay, and I'll be touching on that in another video. So I have never needed to source a property because I leverage other people's money, I form a joint venture with people, or I have investors who work with me and we provide them with a return, or we have an agreement which is basically mutually beneficial to both of us. Okay, but you can absolutely go down the sourcing route if that's what you want to do. So I guess today my challenge for you is to get a notepad and pen. Get your property notepad, you should have one of those, and write down what you want, what your position is. What do you want to do? Maybe you don't want to deal with tenants. I know people who just don't want to deal with tenants, so they just do flips. I know people who only do buy-to-lets. They'll probably do one buy-to-let every week. There's different reasons for different people, for different circumstances. There's no judgment. Just have a reflection on what your position is, where you are, and write it down and be specific with what you want to do. Remember, SMART goals. So be specific in what you want to do and start writing that list. And I will see you tomorrow. Take it easy, guys. Bye.